Okay, so we are on Vlad TV, and another regular guest on Vlad TV is somebody that you know well, Mr. Michael Jai White. This is a past relationship of yours.
You're really digging today. You're really digging.
This is a past relationship of yours.
It is.
And I only touch on this because of he's always on Vlad TV. But I know Mike is very much into the arts. He's very much into working out. And I also know that you are very much into healthy living, working out. Was he an introduction into that world for you, or were you pretty much working out and living healthy before meeting him?
I was athletic before Michael Jai, but I credit him with actually teaching me that it could be a thing for me. He taught me the foundation of taking my love of working out and athletics to a different place. It really started because when I got Inkwell, it was back in 92, believe it or not, that long ago. When I got Inkwell, I knew that my wardrobe was going to be pretty summer, skimpy, bright colors. And I said to him, I want to be like the killer body. I want to show everybody why Lorenzo Tate would go for this older woman. And so Michael started training with me and teaching me the nutritional part. And I literally got obsessed. I don't think he knew how serious I was as he was teaching me. And of course, after the years went on, it was one of the biggest things that kept us connected was our love of fitness and using it within our careers. It was one of the biggest things that that kept us, together and that we had in common. But he's definitely the reason why fitness became a thing for me and a serious thing for me.
Yeah, I mean, he really is the real deal when it comes to fitness and the arts. He takes it 100% serious. I was just always curious, how much of an inspiration was he in your life?
Yeah, a big one.
In terms of the Inkwell, again, you get to work with many stars who have gone on to do incredible things. You act right next to Morris Chestnut, Lorenzo Tate, Jada Pinkett-Smith, as we know her. Again, you guys are young in your careers at this time. When you're shooting this movie, are you saying, because at this time, to some extent, Jada has a name. I believe Morris and Larenz were still very, very young in their career.
Jada was young in her career. I mean, this was before Set It Off. This was 92. So this was, I'm telling you, who was mouth dropping on set. It was to work alongside Glenn Turman, to work alongside Suzanne Douglas, rest her soul, to work alongside Joe Morton. Like these were the African-American powerhouses. These were the people who had crossed over at the time. You either did TV or film in that arena. And now here we are, being graced in the presence of this talk about Black Hollywood royalty, where they had done TV, film. They basically were the creme de la creme of Black Hollywood. So for all of us to be able to work alongside of them, that was what was amazing to me. I think at the time we were all newcomers, Larenz, Dwayne Martin, Jada, Morris, and again, we're really, really fresh in our careers. We had all kind of done something, but once again, we were fueled by, it was just a different time. I guess that's what I want to say. We were really, truly fueled by the craft. We were fueled by the art. We weren't fueled so much by the paycheck. I mean, obviously, yes, but, we wanted to get paid. But that wasn't the driving force of us wanting to do these projects. And I feel like what has made them iconic is that we led with our heart and souls in the work. And that it was about the craft. We had acting coaches and acting teachers and dialect coaches. It wasn't just, I got 1 million followers on Instagram and now I'm in a movie, like it turns out to be sometimes now, right? You had to really have the chops. You had to really be able to hit your mark. You had to really, do 3 takes and be done. You had to really be able to be emotional at the drop of a dime. Like you had to really, really know what you were doing in order to get the opportunities. And I think that level of work shows in that genre of movie. Again, I'll go back to the 90s. That was just what was happening in the 90s. Not just even on screen. I mean, lyricists. Think about, the rappers of the 90s and the music of the 90s and the sound of the 90s. You go from Tupac to Teddy Riley. It's like it was just a time where you had to be about your craft in order to even be recognized. And now that arena, that genre is known for, it doesn't get a whole lot better. It hasn't been since.
You ain't lying.
Right?
You are not lying. Yeah. In that movie, The Inkwell, one of the most harrowing scenes of the movie is when you confront your cheating husband. Where did you draw? Because it looked on screen, like you were drawn from a real place.
Who'd you talk to? You talked to somebody about this interview.
What?
Shawn, you've been talking to somebody. Did my dad tell you? Did my dad come from heaven to tell you what happened?
I'm dead serious. I know the movie. I watched the movie. And sometimes you can watch people on film and he's acting. That they're doing a good job, but it's acting. You looked like you were in pain. Like, I am hurting going through this scene. Now, maybe you were just this incredible actress that we can't tell the difference. But did you draw from a real place? Were those real tears?
Okay, so here's the thing. Yes, they were real tears. But what's really interesting is my dad was on set with me. And at this point in my career, like I told you, he was amazing, mother and father. But at this point in my career, he was so involved in my career choices, my character choices, my acting choices. He was so involved that I feel like he was my on-set coach. And it wasn't even set up that way. It's just that he very rarely let me go on a set on location without him being there, whether he went with me or met with me, there. And in this particular scene, so I had to set that up so you know who we were. But in this particular scene, I had done the scene, tears flowing. I felt good. Matty Rich, love Matty Rich, the director. He's saying, "Oh my God, that's it. That's going to be your Academy Award. We're good. Let's move on." Morris was like, "Wow, you almost made me cry watching you cry a whole bit," right? And I'm looking at my dad, and my dad is like, and I was like, that doesn't seem like a response that everybody else is given. So I went over to him and I said, so what does that mean? I said, how was it? He said, it was good. I said, it was just good? Everybody else is telling me it's like Academy Award winning. And I'm like, you're saying it's good? He said, yeah, it was just good. And now I'm like, it's just good. What does that mean? And he said, I didn't really believe you. I was like, you didn't believe me? I'm crying my eyes out. My eyes are now swollen from 4 takes of crying. He said, no, you're a good crier. I just didn't believe the pain. And I said, really? He said, yeah, I felt like you were acting. Exactly. That was my face. And so he said, so I said, well, that sucks. Like, what am I supposed to do now? He said, well, you can live with it or ask Maddie for one more take. Now, again, he doesn't know the movie. Like, they're tearing down the set. They're moving on to another location. Cameras are moving, lights are moving. And I said, I'm supposed to ask for another take? He said, well, it's your performance going on film. So if I were you, I would ask Maddie for another take. And I said, Maddie. So I called Maddie over and I was like, my dad said it sucked. He was like, I didn't say it sucked. I just didn't believe you. I said, my dad said he didn't believe me. He was like, I thought it was amazing. I said, it felt amazing. He said, okay, so what are we going to do? I said, can we do one more take? He was like, what's going to be different? I said, I don't know, but my dad is saying I need to do another take. And so Maddie said, all right, fine. He said, but instead of getting everybody back over here, can you do it with just Morris and we'll do it in a close-up? And I said, fine. He said, that way we don't have to worry about the whole set. I said, fine. So we got in position and my dad says to Maddie, let me know when you guys are ready. And Maddie goes, it's just camera on her, so we're ready. So my dad comes over to me and he says, Anthony Granberry.
Who?
Anthony Granberry was the love of my life at Spelman. And my dad says, do you remember when you found out that he started messing with an AKA at school? He said, you called me and you were so hysterical. I could not even understand you. He said, the pain in your voice of having been betrayed like that. He said, this is worse than that. He said, but do you remember how you felt with that when you called me? And my eyes started watering. He said, that's what this is. This is Anthony Granberry lying to you in your face, telling you that what you're hearing is not true. He's lying in your face. And of course, now all of a sudden I'm like shaking from pain. And my dad goes, Maddie, roll it. She's ready. And that take is the take that you're talking about, that you saw. And once I did it, the set was clapping. My dad was like, that's my girl. That's my girl. That's the shit I was waiting for. That's what I'm talking about. Now that's some fucking acting. My dad went off. He went off. And I'm still like this after the take because I'm still riddled with pain from doing the scene. And he was like, that's what you have to do. If you're going to do it right.